Hello, this is Tony Blazer. I'm the sales manager here at Buick GMC in Woodbridge, and I wanted to take a second to go over one of the all-new models in the GMC lineup for 2021, the Yukon AT4. If you're not familiar with the all-new 21 Yukons, the vehicles were completely redesigned for this year. All the bodywork on the outside is completely new. You have totally new underpinnings. We went to an independent rear suspension this year, which gives you a great deal more legroom in the back. They also extended the length of this vehicle. The short Yukons now are about 6 inches longer. There's 40% more legroom in the third row, double the cargo space here in back. That was a really big issue. The old vehicles had, really not a lot of cargo space here in the back. That was one of the things that people definitely had an issue with. And the new one here has double the amount of storage space here with the third row up. A great deal more storage space. You have a little bit of storage space down here below, and this third row of course is power retractable. You can have these switches here to lower them down. This is for the second row. You also have a little plug in here in the back in case you're doing a little tailgating. So the vehicle was completely redesigned. As I said, they redid the suspension system to lower the load floor, make it more give you a little more leg room in the third row. The short and long are actually closer in the overall length now than they were last year. So definitely one of the things that people wanted to address with the redesign was a little more room inside. And that's something that GM really took seriously. They did a great job here. Now this particular Yukon is the AT4 model. That's an all new model for this year. It's more of an off-road package. You'll notice here in the front, get down low here, it has the red tow hooks. You also know there's a little over 30% more clearance at the bottom leg. So basically when you're doing what they call a breakover, meaning that when you're coming into an off-road situation where you're going over a steep incline or something, you don't drag that front bumper. It gives you a great deal more ability to go over stuff without damaging anything on the vehicle. Now they have a couple different options here for 21. We have an all-new four-wheel drive system that's designed to be more, I guess, active, more proactive in terms of off-road use. They can sense where the power is needed the most and send that power there. That's available on the AT4. And the AT4 also has a new suspension system, which is a new air ride that's available that actually can raise this vehicle 2 inches for off-road use. So you can actually raise it 1 inch. You can raise it 2 inches if you're going for some serious off-roading. It'll even lower the truck to help you get in and out as well. It also lowers it when you're at speed to give you a little better aerodynamics. And that's an available option. It's not standard on the AT4, but it is something that's new for 21. Now let's go inside and take a look at the all-new interior. Now here on the interior, the AT4 has an exclusive interior treatment. You're going to notice the seats are leather, of course. That's going to give you the full power on both the driver and passenger side, as well as heated and cooling seats, which is really nice. And you also get this really nice AT4 specific brandy accenting. It's on all the AT4 vehicles. The Sierra truck has the same kind of accenting, and it's exclusive just to the AT4. You also get a AT4 embroidery on the headrest. The dash design was all new this year. They completely redid the interior of the Yukon. It is a really nice redesign in my opinion, and this is actually a dash that's exclusive just to the AT4 SLT and SLE. The Denali model has a different dash design. Actually, me personally, I kind of prefer this one because the dash line's a little lower. The Yukon Denali sits up a little taller. I prefer a lower dash. I also like the way the touchscreen is kind of here on top. The screen is much larger for this year. It's 10.2 inches, very, very large screen. It gives you a little more information on screen. They went to a totally redesigned console here in the center. You're still going to see things like heated and cooled seats here. It has the heated back, heated butt and back, and of course the air-conditioned seats for both the driver and passenger. Tri-zone climate control, so the people in the back have their own separate climate control, and of course the driver and the passenger can set theirs as well. Now here at of course, I have navigation on the AT4. It's very well equipped. You also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay built in, which is a really nice feature. And actually that works wirelessly for 2021. That's an all new feature. Before you had to plug it in via USB cable, and now you can project it wirelessly. That's really convenient. You don't have to worry about hassling with the cable all the time. It also has Alexa integration for 21, which is nice. If you have an Amazon Echo, I have several of them in the house. Awesome devices, and actually have integration here in the Yukon as well. The rest of the dash is all new. Different displays. You have a heated steering wheel here. They did move the shifter here to the electronic precision shift. So if you pop it here into reverse, you're going to see the all-new 360 surround view, and that gives you, obviously you can see trajectory like a traditional display, but you also have the 360 kind of a bird's eye view. Makes it much easier to park. And then you have all the selectable, multiple different cameras you can choose depending on what you're trying to do. It'll show different, different views. You're trying to line up a trailer or what have you. You can do it right here on the touch screen, which is really awesome. They also have a really nice trailering app that is built in here that you can save several profiles based on the different trailers you're using, so you don't have to go in and recalibrate it every time. I love that feature. It's really nice for sure. Now, being an AT4, of course, this vehicle is suitable for off-road use. So you're going to have both an auto selectable, which is basically you put this in auto, it'll decide where the power needs to go to what wheel based on varying conditions. You have a full-time two-wheel drive, a full-time four-wheel drive, and a 4-low. So it does have a low-range capability. So if you're going to do some serious off-road, you do have a low-range capable transmission. You also have a hill descent control, again, for off-road usage. Then, of course, you have the full suite of things like the lane keep assist, park assist. This is actually the all-new stop-start feature for 21. Saves a little bit of fuel, cuts down on emissions, but you can defeat it. You can turn it off right here if you don't want that to stop at lights. Electronic trailering brake control, which is really convenient. And they added a new heads-up display for 21 on the AT4 that actually gives you an inclinometer, so you actually can display some of your off-road settings if you're in some situation where you're worried about the vehicle tilting over or something. You get some really aggressive off-roading. You can get that information projected right onto the windshield, which is really convenient. And the AT4 being very well equipped, one of the top models, it also has things like memory seating built in as well, which is really convenient if you have, more than one person driving the vehicle. You and your wife don't have to get in the car every time and reset all that stuff. All right, now here in the back, we have a much nicer passenger compartment. The seats are redesigned for this year. There's more thigh support. The seats actually are much more comfortable, in my opinion. I think I've sat in them, and I really like the fact that they give you a little more support for this year. The seats also slide forward and back, which is a new feature to give you a little bit more legroom in the third row. As I said, it's a huge increase in the space here in the third row. Before, really, the third row on these short Yukons was suitable for children only. You wouldn't want to sit back here if you're an adult. But I'm 5'8", and I can sit back here comfortably. And again, you can move the seat forward a little bit if you need a little more leg room in the third row, or slide it back if you want some room in the second row. Now, pop the seat up here. You'll also notice that we have a new panoramic sunroof for this year. That's all new. The sunroof last year was just here in the front. And this back portion here is just a skylight, but it does let a great deal more light here in the back. Makes it much more airy, and you notice the actual sunroof in the front is much larger, so it lets a lot more lot more light in. And notice here in the back, you also have all new monitors built into the back. It'll do all kinds of cool stuff, like show your navigation up here. You can actually select navigation here, go in here and search for something, and send that information right to the front seat. So I'm looking for a coffee shop or something, I just type it in here, and I can send that information. Let's see if we're gonna look for a coffee shop. All right, Starlight Restaurant. We're gonna hit that, send. All right, and you can see up front, it displays right on the front display, and the person in front can just select, okay, let's go to the coffee shop. Shows up right there on the nav display, and I can actually watch as we navigate to it. It's super cool. The rear, excuse me. The rear display here as well. The rear display here as well will project all kinds of information in terms of movies and what have you. You can connect it via HDMI, or if you have an Android device, you can use the Miracast app as well. Tri-zone air conditioner, of course, so we have our own AC here in the back if we want to use it. We turn our fan on here. There's also heated seats for both the front, the second row passengers. Turn the fan down, and HDMI hookups as well as USB chargers here in the back. So if you want to plug in some kind of a electronic device to stream some movies or something here to the back, you can plug it right in there. Also charge your iPhone, which is really handy. Now here in the engine compartment, the AT4 has a 5.3 liter V8 engine as standard equipment. That is kind of the bread and butter mainstay inside the Yukon and the GMC truck lineup. Great motor. We've been using the same basic engine since about 2000 when it came out with the new body style there. And it's an excellent engine. I've had it in several trucks with the motor. It's a great combination of power and also fuel economy. But if you do need a little more towing power, a little more torque, we do have an all-new 3-liter diesel this available for 2021. I haven't had a chance to drive it in the Yukons yet. It's not available quite yet. It's going to be a later release in the year, but I have driven it in the Sierras, and it is a really impressive engine. It's very, very torquey. Has the same amount of torque as the more powerful 6.2 you find in the Denali's, basically at idle. So right off the get-go, it has great pulling power. It's actually very quick, surprisingly fun to drive for a diesel. You usually don't think of fun to drive and diesel in the same breath there, but I actually think it's one of the more fun to drive engines we have because it's just so darn responsive. From the second you tip in the throttle, it wants to go. So I would recommend trying one of those motors out, and I think once they'll become available here in the AT4, it'll be a great combination, you know, because diesel motors make great motors for off-road use because of the torque they have. You combine the available air ride suspension with the diesel motor and the AT4 package, and I think you'll have a pretty competent off-road machine, especially for something of its size. I'm not sure how many people are actually going to go blasting through Baja on these things, but the fact that it could do it is pretty impressive. There you have it. That's a look at the all-new 2021 AT4 Yukon. If you would like to take one for a test drive, hit us up at 703-494-7121. I have a couple of them in stock. We had another one just come in this morning, and I'm happy to have one of these ready to go when you get here for you to take it for a test drive. Again, Tony Blazer here at Buick GMC in Woodbridge. Hope you have a great day and stay safe out there.